Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, startling video of a local bus driver making an illegal pass with kids on board.
Plus, after a deadly crash on I-29, what goes into deciding when law enforcement should stay on the chase or back off?
And how much damage was caused by that strip mall fire in South Fargo. Valley News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 6.
Take a look at this video. A Valley News Live viewer says this video was taken just before 3 yesterday afternoon on Highway 52 near the Village Green Golf Course in Moorhead. As you can see, a school bus drives into oncoming traffic to try to get around a tractor. You can see the driver having to slow down and slam on the horn.
We know there were 8 kids on board the bus at the time. The Moorhead School District says that the bus is owned and operated by one of its contracted companies and that the driver passed the tractor in a no passing zone. The school district also says that they've asked the contractor to take immediate action to make sure this never happens again.
The bus company, Richards Transportation Service, says they are aware of the situation. And tonight on Valley News Live at 9 and 10, hear from the man who had to swerve to avoid hitting that school bus.
The Grand Forks Sheriff says deputies did not break policy yesterday afternoon in that pursuit along I-29 that left 1 man dead and 2 others badly injured.
It started in Grand Forks with a stolen vehicle report. Deputies spotted the car heading south on I-29, later getting in a high-speed chase that ended in a head-on collision with a semi near Hillsboro. Valley
News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley looked into the differing pursuit policies within law enforcement agencies and how they try to balance keeping the public safe and chasing after the bad guys.
While there may be some differences between each department's pursuit policies, for the most part, they're relatively the same.
What's traffic out there? Pedestrians? Is there a lot of traffic? What time of day it is? Where are we at? Is it rural versus urban? If we know who the person is, we're not going to pursue them unless it's a very serious offense. Like if they've just murdered somebody, a very, very violent assault, we're going to try and catch that person so they don't harm somebody else.
Fargo police say while officers are able to engage in pursuits, they rarely ever do out of an abundance of caution for public safety. And Moorhead police say officers do engage in car chases, but most are self-terminated, saying, quote, "We're always looking at life before property."
There's a danger to the public, there's a danger to the offender, there's a danger to the officer, and those are the things we're always weighing every time we have a pursuit.
The Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office says the 3 deputies involved in Wednesday's deadly pursuit are currently not facing any disciplinary action, and later sent me a copy of the department's pursuit policy. And while it doesn't specifically state pursuits cannot go through construction zones, it does say the safety of the public and type of area must be considered when deputies initiate a chase, later stating the hazards to uninvolved bystanders or motorists posed by the pursuit are grounds to end it. Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The North Dakota Highway Patrol continues to investigate that crash, which they expect to take will take up to 4 weeks. Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office says that they do reevaluate their pursuit policies after every event like Wednesday's, but says it's too early to say if any changes will be made to it yet.
It's been another one of those days where the weather seems to be changing up, including rain and strong winds. Let's find out the latest as well as what's to come tonight. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. Good evening, everyone. Well, we've had a little bit of activity to keep our eyes peeled on the skies. That's what we're doing right now. We're not expecting severe weather to be widespread, but we're watching for funnel clouds again like last night and the possibility for some isolated hail. Now, a storm moved to the west of the camera here at Luther Family Ford, and you see this little lowering of the cloud base as the storm worked its way toward the north, and nothing really exciting until here. Now you see that's a wall cloud, and that one had a little bit of a point backwards to it. Now this same storm moved over North Fargo right by the airport, and we turned our camera and we says, well, let's see this. This is a wall cloud by definition of a lowering of the thunderstorm's base in the updraft of the storm. There's no rain there. So we can put this into motion. You can see the wall cloud rotating. Rotating wall clouds can produce funnels and sometimes produce tornadoes. This one you can see the rotation, and right here it kind of wraps up and focuses right there. So this was happening, keeping our eyes on it. The chances of something like this that lasts 3 minutes of putting something down on the ground, extremely small. but that's why we're watching. Here is a look at the radar, by the way, the relative velocity showing the reds and the greens right next to each other. So there was rotation over the FM area, and that storm continues to move north and east at 15 miles per hour, exiting storms out of the Beltrami County area, but a bunch of thunderstorms developing in southern parts of Stutsman County. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast as we track these through the evening. There is a small chance of severe weather. We'll be on top of it, and your forecast in a bit.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
Funeral arrangements are set for Lieutenant Adam Gustafson, who died of a heart attack while on duty earlier this week. His funeral is now set for 1 o'clock next Wednesday afternoon at Northview Church. There will be limited seating available for the public, and the service will also be streamed online. Meanwhile, you can still visit the memorial at West Fargo's City Hall to Lieutenant Gustafson. This afternoon, we're told that one man stood outside the police department holding a sign to honor the officer.
The Fargo woman accused of killing a family friend's toddler last year is taking her case to trial. Brandy Adelke is charged with murder and child abuse in the death of 15-month-old Mika. Court documents say she left Mika alone while she was taking a bath, and the toddler went underwater for an unknown amount of time. Adelke admitted to pinching and slapping the child's face to get her to wake up. A trial is set to start on July 7th.
A Fargo man is behind bars accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, slashing her tires, and preventing her from calling for help. Kiri Hill is charged with aggravated assault and felonious restraint, among other charges. Authorities say late on May 15th, Hill kept her in a bathroom against her will for half an hour and then threatened to kill her. In a separate case, he's accused of hitting and killing a girlfriend's small dog last month.
The attorney for the family of a Minnesota corrections officer killed by an inmate in 2018 says he will file a lawsuit soon if the state does not act in the case. Authorities say the inmate murdered Joseph Gom at the Minnesota Correctional Facility Stillwater on July 18, 2018. The inmate was already in prison for murdering someone else when he killed Gom. He was sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to Gom's murder. The state, however, has failed to settle this case with Gom's family.
I feel like Joe's been pushed under the rug. Everybody's sorry for what happened. Nobody wants to take responsibility. And for us, we're still fighting for justice for Joe.
The attorney says the statute of limitations for wrongful death runs out in approximately 2 months and that he plans to file a suit unless the state settles the case.
The damage estimate is in on that strip mall fire in South Fargo. The fire marshal telling us that the total damage is near the $1.5 million mark. The local strip mall is located along 32nd Avenue South. A physical therapy office and a Down Syndrome Achievement Center were destroyed. Other nearby businesses were also affected. Since then, Bodyworks Physical Therapy has moved to a temporary location, and Gigi's Playhouse is hoping to raise $3.5 million for a new building.
Subsidies are supposed to help farmers through hard times, but our national investigative team found some of those farms are getting millions in the names of people who live and work in big cities. The findings are frustrating for small farmers who are struggling.
It's embarrassing, you know, that farmers are the most trustworthy people to the consumers, the actual farmers. But when you get stuff like that, it kind of removes that trust, you know, and makes us suspect to how we're farming.
Investigate TV got access to documents from the USDA that show where some of the money is going, but found much of the information is still hard to find. You can watch Secret Subsidies tonight on Valley News Live at 10.
An event will be held to honor a West Fargo boy who died of brain cancer. The Landon's Light Foundation is teaming up with NFL football quarterback Carson Wentz for Landon's Night at the Lights event. The event will honor Landon Solberg, who, as we all know, was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2017 at the age of 10 and died in 2019. Now, the mission of the Landon's Light Foundation is to support children who are battling a serious medical illness. The event will take place at Essentia Health Plaza at the Lights on June 27th. You can find ticket information on our website.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, what the city of Fargo is asking as it tries to determine what should be done with the former Mid-America Steel building.
And last night, strong storms dumped rain after rain after rainstorm. The same area, Argyle picking up nearly 7 inches of rainfall. Carlstad 1.5 about for you. Fargo only 1,800s. That fell this morning. Jamestown 8,500s with more rain in the forecast. I'll have those details next.